Welcome all who come to hear my tales. Tonight we explore the home of blue crabs, where jousting still happens, and the invention of the Ouija board. The state is none other than Maryland. Here we have a battle between two ancient enemies. But first, a small word from Head of the Shadowlands. If you enjoy my stories, real and fiction, then do me a small favor. Click the thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, and break the bell overhead. Thank you. Now on to our story. Dwayyo versus Snallygaster. The tale I have tonight may seem like fiction, but I witnessed the event firsthand. I only wish that I could have recorded it, but was far too frightened, frozen in fear, and worried if I made a sound, even a small little noise, I would be the one that got attacked. I live outside of the small town of Wolfsville on the State Road 15. I was on my way to the largest city of Frederick. It was an early Sunday morning, just after sunrise. I was heading southeast, and the sun had barely risen on my left side. I had some time to kill, so I thought I could enjoy seeing the first light of the day for a change. I pulled my car over to the side of the road to enjoy my coffee and watch the sun continue to rise. Suddenly, from the tree line, a large creature bolted. I am not a small man at 6'4", but I was compared to this creature. It had a large club. No, it had a small tree in its hand. It towered over me, easily 1.5 feet. The set chest was massive, as were the arms and legs. His physique would make any weightlifter blush and look down in shame. Dark gray hair covered the massive body, and clawed hands gripped the tree tightly. But what caught my attention and caused the most fear was the head. The large head resembled a wolf, not dog, and not man. His black fur was soaked in blood, as was the tree it held in his hands. I stood frozen, coffee still in my hand, fearing to even draw a single breath. If I wished to make it through the day. But the massive canine was not watching me, but overhead in the sky instead. Dive bombing from the sky above was the most unusual bird or creature I have yet to see. It looked like a large bird with a few noticeable differences. His beak and legs were scaly, but silver and reflective in color. The feathers on top were a beautiful blue, but silver on the bottom, no doubt to disguise itself from those looking up into the sky. His beak was large, and so was his eyes. He could pass for a small plane, but the one thing that made me drop my coffee and jump back into my car was the tongue. It had several splits in it and looked more like a cat of tails than an actual tongue. They flew wildly around the beak as it headed straight toward the monster on two legs. It drew ever closer, and that's when I noticed something else. There was fresh blood on its head. The same blood, no doubt, on the wolfman's tree or bat, as it seemed to be. I slid down low in my seat, awake now more than coffee could ever make me. Claws stretched. The beast dived, and the wolfman swung, and I heard it connect. The force sent the flying terror across the empty road into a ditch on the other side. In a few leaps, the canine had crossed the 4-lane road. As a winged bird's tongue lashed out, knocking the man-beast flat on his back. The bird rose, shook his body, blood flying everywhere, and then leaped into the air. The dog beast also stood and threw the tree, but it missed the target. That's when the creature flew away over the trees, dripping blood. The wolfman knelt on one knee, ran his finger through the blood, sniffed it, licked it, and with a disturbing growl, leaped into the tree line, following the fresh trail. I finally had the nerve to look over my car door and see that the two combatants had gone. I cranked the car, spun out, leaving tire marks on the empty road. Legend calls the wolfman Dwayyo. The flying creature was a predatory Snallygaster. These two have been locked in combat since their first sighting together. No one knows why, nor do I care. I am glad they never noticed me, or I would be a memory, not here to share my tale to all of you. Of course, this was fiction. I've never even been to Maryland. But come back next week as we continue our journey across this country of ours. We will explore Massachusetts. Sorry, I really have a hard time saying that word. And one of the most famous cryptids in America's history. As always, beware of those who hide in the Shadowlands.